is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica, transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne, serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning. A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, February 4, 2026. Fourth supplementary estimates pushes government spending up by close to $14 billion. Staff of Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and Post and Telecoms Department to be charged for failing to file statutory declarations. FNID seizes over $47 million worth of cocaine since the start of the year. In regional news, Guyana and Belize agree to deepen cooperation in tourism, defense, and education. In international news, the UK slams Russian attacks on Ukraine energy sites during harsh winter weather. In sports, St. Jago High School's Vital Laws stands out at the ICC Under-19 World Cup. And in business, Trump signs bill to end partial U.S. government shutdown. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. A fourth supplementary estimates for the current financial year has been tabled in the House of Representatives, pushing government spending for the period up by an additional sum of close to $14 billion. Addressing the lower house on Tuesday, Finance Minister Favour Williams says the majority of the added spending has been allocated to Hurricane Melissa response.
Madam Speaker, the fourth supplementary that is here today in Parliament is a result of the following adjustments to the 2025-2026 budget. The central government expenditure estimates are being adjusted to incorporate total incremental expenditure of $14.36 billion, of which $13.4 billion relates to Hurricane Melissa expenditure approved by Cabinet subsequent to either the preparation of or the approval of the third supplementary in December 2025.
Another $960 million will support the recently announced subsea fiber capacity venture with Transamerica's Fiber. The minister says the government has now spent approximately $70 billion on Hurricane Melissa relief.
So the additional $13.4 billion being proposed for regularization in the fourth supplementary estimates will bring the total sum allocated by Cabinet for pre- and post-Hurricane Melissa response and relief activities to $66.76 billion, inclusive of the $24.18 billion loan approved by Cabinet to the Jamaica Public Service Company to facilitate the speedy restoration of electricity across the island.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service. The Integrity Commission has recommended that 9 members of staff at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, BGLC, and the Post and Telecommunications Department be charged. This is in relation to their failure to file statutory declarations as required by law. The investigative reports and indicative rulings were tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. They refer to filings due for the December 2023 period. The offending employees at BGLC are 2 investigators, namely Philip Anderson and Nikisha Scott. They're joined by accounting officer Daniel Jump. At the Post and Telecommunications Department, the errant employees are Inspectors Marvett McPherson, Balford Bryan, and Hazel McClement Donaldson. 3 branch managers, Victoria Stewart, Valerie Mullings, and Cavell Miller, have also been flagged. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis has found significant weaknesses in the portal used to collect relief funds in the aftermath of the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The portal, supportjamaica.gov.jm, was launched in record time after the Category 5 system battered the western end of the island. But in a report tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, the Auditor General raised several red flags related to information security, governance gaps, and potential breaches of the Data Protection Act. Mahiri Stewart has that report.
The National Disaster Management Platform was developed and launched in 29 hours. It's operated by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. The portal serves as the government's primary hub for information on its hurricane relief efforts, including donation collections. Up to December 2025, nearly $800 million had been collected through the portal. But in a 23-page report, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis flagged the portal for serious security concerns. The audit identified significant weaknesses in ODPEM's information security governance framework, which impacted the access controls over the website. The auditors found that in the absence of an established access policy, ODPEM operated without an enforceable standard for the provisioning, modification, and deprovisioning of user accounts. Mrs. Monroe Ellis says the site has been exposed to an elevated risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access, inconsistent security practices, and weakened overall control of its information system. The Auditor General also flagged the website for potential breaches of Jamaica's Critical Data Protection Act, DPA. She says while the website's agreement referenced compliance with the Act and other security standards, there was no evidence that ODPEM verified the private developer's compliance with those requirements. A review of the privacy policy on the Support Jamaica website also revealed that the data processor's access to personal data was not disclosed. The policy also advised users to contact ODPEM's data protection officer, but the entity had not appointed an officer. This was cited as a breach of Section 20 of the Data Protection Act. The Auditor General is recommending that ODPEM's management should approve and implement a formal access control policy that requires documented justification for all user accounts. She's also recommending that ODPEM immediately require the private developer, as the data processor, provide documented and independently verifiable evidence demonstrating compliance with security measures stipulated in the data processing agreement. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Several schools in Western Jamaica are facing challenges with student attendance 3 months after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Gavania James is Vice President of Region 4 of the National Secondary Schools Council, covering St. James, Westmoreland, and Hanover.
In the Western region, attendance is very low. Honestly, I can say from experience, as I've been attending school daily, students are not participating, they're not coming to school, and it's not because they don't want to, but it's because many students are still suffering from economic challenges. The fact that some roads are still damaged and the fact that homes are still being repaired. So students are probably at home working, students are at home struggling financially and even psychologically.
According to the Education Ministry, schools across the island have been experiencing lower student attendance levels since the hurricane passed. In the western parishes, the data show that only 72% of students have returned to school. James says the council is playing its role in having this improved.
I know that the regionals, we've been in communication with our local councillors. Even currently, Region 4, we're in collaboration with St. Anne Parish Youth Council, trying to get some resources for our Westmoreland students. I know that our regionals have been trying, they've been in communication with our principals, and I know that our nationals have also been trying. They've been having meetings at the national level. Even recently, our national president, Brian Anderson, they had a meeting with the Minister of Education, with Dr. Dana Morris, and we've been in the schools, and we have been in communication with our local councillors trying to see how best we can assist and even improve the conditions of the school.
Gavania James, the Vice President of Region 4 of the National Secondary Schools Council. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, has seized over $47 million worth of cocaine since the start of the year. The latest incident resulted in the arrest and charge of a St. Elizabeth farmer who allegedly attempted to depart the country with some 110 pounds of the illegal drug through Sangster International Airport on January 26. The drug has an estimated street value of 30 million Jamaican dollars. Director of FNID, Senior Superintendent Patricia Rowe, says there is heightened vigilance at the ports to disrupt the narcotics trade.
This latest arrest is further on to FNID effort to interdict drugs and guns. FNID is working with our local and international partners to further strengthen our borders. Since the start of the year, FNID has seized over $47 million worth of drugs. We continue our efforts. The month of January has been unprecedented in terms of our productivity. We are projecting, based on intelligence and our investigations, that we'll be making much more seizures, we'll be making more arrests, and our efforts is resulting in tangible results.
SSP Patricia Rowe, Director of FNID. The farmer implicated in the latest drug seizure is Ronaldo Brooks. The police previously listed him as a person of interest. Brooks surrendered to the police in Montego Bay, St. James on Monday in the company of his attorney. Following a question and answer interview, he was formally charged with possession of, dealing in, and attempting to export cocaine. He's also charged with conspiracy to export the drug. Police reports are that anomalies were detected during an electronic examination of a suitcase destined for Canada. A physical search of the luggage allegedly revealed several sachets containing the cocaine. Brooks is scheduled to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Friday, February 6 to answer to the charges. Anyone with information on illicit drugs is being asked to contact FNID at 876-923-6184, the police emergency 119 number, or visit the nearest police station. Now, a police constable has been charged in connection with the seizure of several rounds of ammunition. He's identified as 31-year-old Tarnell Wright, assigned to the Westmoreland Police Division. Wright was formally charged by the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, on Tuesday. It follows an intelligence-driven operation in Area 1 last Friday, which resulted in the seizure of 85 rounds of ammunition. A motor vehicle, mobile phones, and a sum of cash were also seized. Lawmen say Wright and another man were arrested during the operation carried out in Westmoreland and Hanover. Wright has been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, stockpiling, dealing in prohibited weapons, and a conspiracy to traffic prohibited weapons. The other man remains in police custody. 2 men, including a musician, have been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. They are 19-year-old musician O.J. Stahl, otherwise called Zion, and 18-year-old Aaron Tyrell, otherwise called Tavi. Both are from Augusttown in St. Andrew. The men were charged with possession of prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition following a seizure by the police on Maxfield Avenue on Saturday. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that a team of officers were on a mobile patrol when they signaled the driver of a Toyota Isis to stop. The driver complied, and members of the team observed Stahl throwing a bag to the rear of the vehicle. The bag was retrieved and found to contain a 9mm Taurus pistol with an affixed magazine containing 6 cartridges. Tara later gave the police voluntary access to his phone, and both men were seen in several photographs handling the same firearm. Both men were taken into custody, where they were both charged after a question and answer session. Their court date is being finalized. The Forestry Department is seeking to restore over 2,000 hectares of mangroves across the country. The project manager of Jamaica Mangroves Plus at the Forestry Department is Denise Henry.
One of the major objectives of the Jamaica Mangroves Plus project is to designate approximately 8,000 hectares of mangroves. So this is now a new initiative of protecting more of our mangroves and adding a layer of designation that allows us better control as to how they are being used. With regards to restoration, we had initially planned to do restoration of about 2,000 hectares of mangroves through the project, and that we're looking at areas that need restoration to their hydrological flow.
The Environment Ministry says nearly 25% of mangrove forests were degraded during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The Forestry Department says that the damage to the forest in St. Elizabeth was extensive. The department partnered with several government agencies on Monday to clean up a section of forest in Parity in the parish.
The Nature Conservancy had reported about 1,500 hectares of the Black River area mangroves that had been damaged as a result of the hurricane. We were along the strip at Parity, and you're seeing dead trees, broken trees, trees that have been uprooted, so they will not be able to recover. And so they also need to be removed from that site, as well as the heavy debris of household appliances. Things were being removed like stoves and fridges, lots of zinc. We pulled a barrel of oil out of the mangrove swamp, which was starting to leak into that area.
Denise Henry, project manager of Jamaica Mangroves Plus at the Forestry Department. She was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Where music is played, copyright owners must be paid. This time signal is brought to you by Jamaica Music Society. The time by Jams is
6:17.
You think you're getting the full nationwide experience now? You just wait. The Family Club is coming soon.
Time now for regional and international news. Regional, Guyana and Belize have signed a series of memoranda of understanding aimed at enhancing cooperation between the two nations. They were finalized on Tuesday at the conclusion of a 3-day state visit by Guyana's President Dr. Irfaan Ali to Belize. The leaders issued a statement following talks between Ali and Prime Minister of Belize, John Antonio Briceño. According to the statement, the MOUs establish broad frameworks for collaboration in areas such as defense and security, education and skills development, tourism, economic engagement, and digital transformation. Officials stressed that the agreements express mutual intentions and are not legally binding. The statement says all cooperation will be implemented gradually, transparently, and in accordance with available resources and national priorities. It says they are aligned with both countries' national laws and obligations under the Caribbean Community. International, Russia's attacks on Ukraine's energy sector on Monday night as temperatures dropped to below 20 degrees Celsius were barbaric and particularly depraved. This is according to UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. He made the comments after speaking with US President Donald Trump hours after Russia hit power plants and critical infrastructure in the capital, Kyiv, and elsewhere. It comes at the end of a week-long pause that Trump had asked Russia's President Vladimir Putin to observe as a fierce cold swept across Ukraine. Trump told reporters that Putin had kept his word and that he would like him to end the war. U.S. envoys are meeting Ukrainian and Russian negotiators in Abu Dhabi to discuss a proposed peace plan. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care. Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Time now for your morning sports. Jamaican left-arm leg spinner Vital Laws was one of the standouts for the West Indies at the ICC Under-19 World Cup in Namibia and Zimbabwe. The St. Jago High School star left the tournament as the team's leading bowler with 10 wickets from 5 games at an average of 22.70. According to Laws, bowling a consistent line and length was key throughout the tournament.
Consistency, I think I've been a lot more consistent. Seeing the level I've come from over the years, I've got way more consistent, way more control. I now have an idea of what I'm doing as bowling. My bowling has definitely grown a long way.
The 18-year-old wrist spinner added that former Jamaica and West Indies bowler Nikita Miller, who is part of the coaching staff, has been a huge influence in his career thus far.
The most influential person has to be Nikita Miller. He has been there through everything. He has assured me that I had what it takes to be here. I had what it takes to execute on such a high level, He has assured me every day before the game. We have our little talks, even in the warm-up. He assures me always, make sure to give me reassurance before the game and everything.
Vital Laws. Now, Damian Gordon, head coach of Rare Nephew Jamaica Premier League outfit Dumbeholden FC, says player management will be crucial to the success of the team this season. He added that based on the depth of the squad and the number of games, the coaching staff will have their work cut out for them.
We have a game on Thursday, and after that we have a game on Sunday. We're trying our best to rotate the team. It's a very small squad, so we're trying to keep everyone as fresh as we can. We get in the games then fast, but at the same time, every team is going through it.
Dumbeholden will be in action later on Wednesday as they entertain defending champions Cavalier at the Dumbeholden Sports Complex. Match time is set for 3 p.m. According to Gordon, he's hopeful that the players acquired in the recently closed transfer window will be a positive addition to the club.
We did some business. Hopefully it can materialize into something great. I think that we should be a little bit more gusty. It's just another game that we have to regroup and go again.
Damian Gordon. Finally, in your morning sports, St. George's College booked their place in the ISSA Schoolboys Basketball Urban Zone Final after pulling away late to defeat Jamaica College 59-51 in a decisive Game 3 semifinal clash. After splitting the opening 2 games of the series, St. George's delivered when it mattered most, winning the series 2-1 behind a balanced team effort and a timely scoring in the fourth quarter. Alexander Bailey led the charge for St. George's with 18 points, providing steady offense at key moments, while Barrington Dennis added 14 points to support the winning cause. St. George's will face Campion College in the final. And that's it for your morning sports.
We established Plan Secure Jamaica, backed it with a $90 billion budget, investing in our security forces. We are now reaping the results. The next phase of the plan is to move the society to peace.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
In business this morning, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a $1.2 trillion budget to end a partial government shutdown that began on Saturday. The House of Representatives passed the deal in a 217 to 214 vote on Tuesday. The package cleared the Senate last Friday. The measure funds most government agencies until the end of the fiscal year in September. But the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, will be funded only until the end of next week. Lawmakers are expected to negotiate Democratic calls for DHS reforms after federal immigration agents fatally shot 2 U.S. citizens in Minneapolis last month. Now, Walt Disney has named Josh D'Amaro, the head of its amusement park business, as its new chief executive. Disney's shares dipped roughly to 0.2% to $104.22 in after-hours trading Tuesday following the announcement. D'Amaro, a 28-year-old veteran of the company, will replace current boss Bob Iger, who has been at the helm for nearly 2 decades. He is due to start in the new role on March 18. D'Amaro's pay package for his first year will have a total grant date value of roughly $45 million. In selecting D'Amaro, Disney has turned to the leader of the part of its business that has delivered the most reliable profits in recent years. This as the company works to find its way in the world of streaming. Also in business this morning, Pinterest has sacked 2 engineers for tracking which workers lost their jobs in a recent round of layoffs. The company recently announced job cuts, with Chief Executive Bill Reddy stating in an email he was doubling down on an AI-forward approach. This is according to an employee who posted parts of the memo on LinkedIn. Pinterest told investors the move would impact about 15% of the workforce, or roughly 700 roles, without saying which teams or workers were affected. But then a company spokesperson said 2 engineers wrote custom scripts improperly, accessing confidential company information to identify the locations and names of all dismissed employees, and then shared it more broadly. Finally, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has gained 11 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $157.43. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has gained $2.87 and will open selling for an average $114.63. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has lost 11 cents and will begin trading for an average $214.87 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Register your property or update an existing title through the Land Administration and Management Division. The time by the National Land Agency is
6:30.
Hurricane Melissa may be over, but the emotional impact can linger. It's normal to feel anxious, sad, or overwhelmed. Talk about your feelings. Stay connected with family and friends and reach out for help if you need it. Call the Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. You can also access the You Matter chat line by messaging the word support to 876-838-4897 or at You Report Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Want to see what happens before we go live? The doors are about to open. Nationwide Family Club coming soon.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media. In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Since I've been trying to get on with you, but you keep on saying you don't know what to do. Don't know much about you, yet you're always on my mind. So all you gotta do is leave it to time. Everything will be fine in time. Time alone can do anything. Time can move in the mountain. Time will make you realize someone's in love with you. Baby, it's true. Yeah. So what are we gonna do? Bunchiloo, now you know how I feel. Will you ever realize that I'm for real? Let me assure you, and not promise you I won't break your heart. Now you know it right from the start. So leave it to time. Time alone can do anything. Time will move in the mountain. Time will make you realize someone's in love with you. Baby, it's true.
Yeah. I've lifted my eyes and I've seen the sign of the times. Daddy Marcus prophesied that nothing long time. Oh Lord, the ignorance of our people has held us captives of our own mind. Can't you see we're running out of time? Let's change our lives, my brothers and sisters, and to the calling of the Father. He's the only one that's willing to save us divine. Get ready for a new time. I've seen a new sign. In I bingy chant right. Mother Nature is evil, and I do believe it. Yeah. Get ready for a new time. I've seen a new sign. In I bingy chant right. Mother Nature is evil, and I do believe it. Whoa.
Cause we know we're not gonna get away with the wrongs we continue to display. Scripture for the say, according to our works we shall get paid. Gotta be sure the things we've done is being worthy under the sun.
Get ready for a new time. I've seen a new sign, and I think chant right. Mother Nature is evil, and I do believe it. Get ready for a new time. I've seen a new sign, and I think chant right. Mother Nature is evil, and I do believe
it. You've been my friend, a friend for all eternity.
What rhythm is that? The Time Rhythm by Bobby Digital. And when was it created? 1997. The late, great Bobby Digital. I see a lot of you in the YouTube chat enjoying that one. A very good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up. It's Nationwide this morning. NTM on Nationwide 90 FM. Happy to have all of you hopping on over into the YouTube chat. Of course, our YouTube channel. For those who don't know, it is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. We love your engagement, so hop on over into the chat and engage with us this Wednesday morning. For those folks who are out there in Radio Land, tuned in on 90.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9. Hello, good morning. And good morning to our friends joining us from the website or from the app. Happy to have you this Wednesday morning. I'm Tawna Thomas.
And I'm Saeed Bernard. Top of the morning to your listeners or viewers, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, yes. And a lot of people are on the road, and please, or up and reach at work, yeah. And if you're dropping your kids to school with their sweaters on, yes. I hope they get to stay in class this morning. But of course, with their sweaters on, yes. And I'm hoping you pick them up, they have their sweaters, not confiscated. And the top of the morning, of course, to those of you who are still at home, brewing your coffee, boiling your tea. It is a splendid Wednesday morning, as Tawna calls it, hump day.
Yes.
Yeah. Wednesday morning. So it is our pleasure to be with you. How are you, Tono?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great.
I'm staring at your tie.
Can't complain.
It's a lovely tie.
You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
very,
you.
very nice.
Word for you.
Sure, Saeed. I'll take it.
Of course, and I'm hosting with Tono for dress up. You know, if I'm hosting with George, I'm gonna say, I'm just put on a jersey or something.
You just wing it.
Football, yeah.
Right.
But I have to make sure that I compliment what you're bringing.
Energy
off,
matches.
Yeah.
Lovely tie. Lovely tie.
You can't just like a rose and then just come there and just look brap so.
Yeah.
That make the guard look bad.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to, bloom up the thing and, hump day, Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a nice tie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, what's up, by the way? Big Tune King. Songs from the 1990s. Yeah. This song was produced when King? 1997? So, look at that. Alright, we're not going to go on like we did no, but this is in the YouTube chat.
Plus, I said it.
No, you said the name, you never said the year.
I did say the year. I did say the year.
Really? Bobby Digital makes one of the baddest rhythms in the 1990s, 1970s, 1990s. Oh, really? Oh.
So he produced Sizzler's what? Album? Black Woman and Child.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the song from that album.
Well, on my mind this morning, I think it's pretty obvious what's on my mind. And frankly speaking, it's something that we shouldn't have to be here talking about. I think it's a waste of time having to have to talk about this morning, but here we are. Across our schools yesterday, children were having their sweaters confiscated. Not because they're offensive, not because they are unsafe, not because they are concealing weapons. No. But because they don't carry the right logo. That's why they're being confiscated. They do not carry the right logo. And I wanted to let that sink in for a minute. On a cold morning, where several adults, I recall that morning, Tono, I put on, Monday morning I had on a jumper because I was cold. Yesterday I had on a jacket. I had on an undershirt, a shirt, a tie, a jacket because I was cold. And our children, on that cold morning from yesterday, when the breeze cuts through the thin uniforms and the classroom feels more like a freezer than places of learning, children were being forced to remove the sweaters their parents provided to keep them warm. Sweaters that are thicker. Sweaters that, again, are not offensive. Sweaters that are safe. And sweaters that are not concealing weapons. Sweaters that are actually doing the job. And in some cases, sweaters that actually fit. Because children grow and branded uniforms don't magically expand with them. And instead, our schools, some of them, were insisting that students were to wear the branded sweaters, the thin sweaters, the overpriced sweaters, and the completely inadequate sweaters for what we were facing the other day. And while children don't have them, the alternative was not compassion, it was confiscation. The alternative was not understanding, it was taken away. So what happens next? The children sit in class shivering, unable to focus, distracted, uncomfortable, cold, and I pray God forbid, that some of them got sick. And I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if someone called into the newsroom throughout the rest of this week to say that a child of theirs whose sweater was confiscated now has the cold or the flu or something of the sort. And for what? A logo? A rule? A rigid idea of compliance that has lost all connection with reality? These branded sweaters are expensive. Many parents are already stretched thin, paying school fees, paying for books, lunches, transportation, and everything else that I might miss. But you parents know what you pay when it comes to raising a child in today's economy. So when a parent chooses to buy a thicker, unbranded sweater, that is not rebellion. It is simply a responsibility. And yet, instead of working with the parents, instead of exercising discretion, instead of applying basic human judgment, I'm not even calling it common sense now, basic human judgment, a prisoner would be allowed to wear a sweater if he were cold. But our children? And some of these schools have doubled down on this do or die and rules or rules mentality. No leeway, no context, and I can't help but say it, no common sense. And this kind of thinking, it does not teach discipline. It does not. What it teaches is obedience without reason. And they think that this is some sort of building of character, when all it does, it builds resentment. That's all it does. And chief of all, it does not have the best interest of the child at heart. Education is about nurtured minds, but we make it about policing clothing at the expense of our children's not only dignity but at this point health. And we cannot continue this system where rules matter more than the children themselves, where policy is enforced so blindly, so coldly, so callously, that a cold child becomes collateral damage. And I'm afraid that what we heard yesterday is a personification of authority that is not measured by wisdom, but it's more measured by the egos of those who run the schools. Where is the room for judgment? Where is the room for compassion? Where is the room for understanding that uniformity cannot and should not override simple humanity? And yes, it is humanity. A child shivering in their boots from there at school 8 o'clock in the morning till school ends at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's a fly in the face of simple common decency. And if a child is warm, decent, and ready to learn, then that should take the priority. It's not whether a sweater carries a crest, or the sweater carries a particular color today. That's not the case. Because now, if you're choosing logos over the children's lesson, then we're already losing. We're already losing. We cannot be choosing logos in the sake of uniformity over the children's lesson. And yes, it's over their lesson, because I am pretty sure that those children learned nothing yesterday. Because if you've ever experienced the cold, you have to focus to try and keep warm. Mm-hmm. If you've ever experienced the cold, you have to focus to try and keep warm. And that is speaking from an adult's perspective. Imagine more so the children. And I wonder, I wonder, ladies and gentlemen, I wonder. Because you see, I'm not a parent, and I'm this angry about it. Imagine more so the parents who knew that their offspring yesterday was sitting shivering in a classroom for hours. Imagine the parents who, when in contact with the school or at the school, are being told that they're not getting back the sweater until Ash Wednesday, and they're confiscating the sweater. Imagine being a parent. What are we supposed to say to the parents? Calm down? Be understanding? If I am this inflamed, and I am not a parent, I can only imagine the parents choosing logo over the children's lesson. It cannot continue. It cannot continue. And what I recognize now, Tana, is that common sense. They've always said it, common sense is not so common. But human decency is also far, far away from many of us. And it is far away from many of the places that should really and truly be nurturing it. That's what's on my mind.
Public passenger vehicle operators and commercial carriers. The 2026-2027 licensing period begins February 1. Apply, check out, pay at www.ta.org.jm. No rush, no fuss. Go digital with us. The time by the Transport Authority is
11 minutes to 7 o'clock.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life. Savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees here in Kingston, 23 at Westin Montego Bay, and 19 in Mandeville.
Following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, Jamaicans are urged to take precautions to prevent leptospirosis, a disease spread through contact with water, soil, or food contaminated by the urine of infected animals. Remember, avoid swimming, wading, or playing in floodwaters or any water that may have resulted from flooding. Avoid consuming food that may have been contaminated with floodwater or animal urine. Wear protective clothing and footwear when working or walking in areas that may be contaminated. And visit the nearest health center immediately if you experience fever, chills, muscle pain, or other flu-like symptoms. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
10 minutes going up to 7 o'clock, and it's that time for Street Smarts with the man Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, Saeed, and the listeners. Tana, morning to you all.
Morning to you,
and,
Ludlow.
I really like that. What's on your mind, Saeed? It's profound, and it's so necessary. Anyway, what's happening on our roads? It's some clouds above, and we already know that it's quite cooler in the morning. And what's happening in the Meadowbrook area? We see a number of people waiting in that Chancery Street area. Passengers, school children, they're waiting for public transportation. And going down Meadowbrook via Meadowbrook Avenue, it's pretty good. Red Hills Road going all the way down is okay. In the vicinity of the overpass, a bit of slowing up there, but going across to Eastwood Park Road, then Red Hills Road, you see the traffic moving. Constant Spring is already moving from as far as Manor Park coming down, going past the intersection on Don Robin there, which is quite active. Don Robin as usual active. And going all the way down West Avenue in both directions, you can make it. It's building, but you can make it. If you're going across to Waterloo, that's where you're going to have some movement, slow movement, going all the way down. And going across from West Kings House to the Kingsway, you're going to also have some slowing up there as you make your way. Hope Road, it's moving, but as you get closer to Avenue, that's where you're going to have the build-up. Hope Road going towards Lady Musgrave Road, it's pretty good, okay, no problem. Lady Musgrave Road slowing in both directions, but that will build as the morning progresses. So at this time of the morning, it's a pretty good movement for a Wednesday. But I'm telling you, the peak areas are really in half a tree and going further down into the crossroads here. So it's a first report for the morning. It's over to you, Saeed.
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That's Street Smart. Up next, your word of the day.
And I just have to squeeze this comment in before getting to the word of the day in relation to what's on my mind, Saeed. And there's this comment on our story about the jacket situation yesterday. A parent says, maximum respect to Red Hills Primary School, where the principal stood at the gate and gave out sweaters to students who were coming in without. So kudos to the principal of Red Hills Primary, We're going to get the name of that principal of Red Hills Primary School. A parent came into our comment section.
Mr. Dubidad.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Dubidad. Good going there at Red Hills Primary School, where you stood at the gate yesterday and gave out sweaters to students who were coming in without.
And a lot of comments swinging both ways, Tana. Good morning, Dwayne Haynes. Pick up yourself. But a lot of them saying, some school, Lady of the Angels, is not just the only one that were confiscating sweaters. Many of them were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah. So word of the day, OSSIFY, spelled OSSIFY.
Ossify. Ossify. Ossify.
Interesting word of the day. Dictionary.com. Are you listening? Ossify, your word of the day. It's a verb and it means to become rigid in habits, attitudes, or opinions. To become rigid in habits, attitudes, or opinions. An explanation. Ossify originally described the process of something turning into bone, but it's also used to describe routines or views that get a bit stuck. From mornings that never change to ideas that refuse to budge. Ossify captures the stubborn side of human nature. So I can see how you guys can use this one in the What's on My Mind segment on what Said was speaking about. But the example provided by dictionary.com this morning for the word ossify, the man's exercise routine had ossified around the neighborhood each morning. Same routine, same pace every day. Ossify, your word of the day. Definition again, to become rigid in habits, attitudes, or opinions. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Many of us, pet owners, love to share our favorite foods and meals with our beloved furry friends. Our dogs and cats are usually thrilled to participate in these mealtime rituals. However, as responsible pet owners, we need to be aware of particular food items that can be harmful to our canine and feline companions. In Pets World today, foods you should avoid feeding your dogs and cats. Here is a list of some of the most common foods that are toxic to both dogs and cats. Alcohol. Whenever you decide to enjoy an alcoholic beverage, make sure your dogs and cats stay away from the party. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is extremely toxic to dogs and cats. Exposure to seemingly harmless amounts can have very serious side effects for your pet. The effect alcohol has on your pet's liver and brain is similar to the effect it has on humans, but it takes a much smaller dose to do its damage. Chocolate and caffeine. When ingested by pets, this can cause vomiting and diarrhea, panting, excessive thirst and urination, hyperactivity, abnormal heart rhythm, tremors, seizures, and even death. Bread dough. Carbohydrates are the enemy of many dieters, and the same can be said about dogs and cats. Unbaked bread dough is considered poisonous to our pets. When ingested, the bread dough expands in the stomach as a result of its warm and moist environment, which can lead to a bloated or even twisted stomach. Garlic and onions. We often forget that many of our meals contain these two popular ingredients and allow our pets a few bites or licks of our food. Onion and garlic both can cause a type of poisoning that results in damage to red blood cells, making them likely to rupture. They can also cause stomach upset and mouth irritation. In terms of symptoms, the most common are pale gums, increased breathing or drooling, and vomiting or diarrhea. Grapes and raisins. Dogs and cats should also avoid grapes and raisins, since they can lead to acute kidney failure. Most pets intoxicated by grapes or raisins will begin to experience vomiting and or diarrhea within 6 to 12 hours of ingestion. Other abnormal clinical signs include abdominal pain, dehydration, and tremors. In most severe cases, kidney failure develops within 24 to 72 hours of the initial ingestion. Moldy foods. We have all been there, reaching into the back of our refrigerators and pulling out a questionable food item that has passed its expiration date by a few days, weeks, or even months. Additionally, many dogs and cats are garbage grazers, and think of your trash can as the secret treat holder. Moldy food can put your pet's health at risk, which can cause vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, and mental confusion. With this in mind, go forth and enjoy your favorite foods, but remember which foods you should avoid sharing with your furry family members. Whenever in doubt, we suggest you ask experts for healthy and safe foods as suggestions. That's it for Pets World today.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Many people don't seem to care that they have no table manners and that they are like pigs around a dining table. This is Lifestyle Pages on restaurant etiquette. Having good table manners is more desirable than behaving and eating like a pig, especially when in public. It is always a good idea when you are seated at your table to look at your waiter or waitress to know and to remember their face. Never ask, "Are you our waiter or waitress?" and ask this more than once. How would you feel if you were in his or her position? So make it a cardinal rule to know your waiter or waitress in a restaurant. Ask any questions you need to ask about the food items or that are on the menu that you may not know or are not familiar with. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
From the ground up, let's rebuild stronger, safer, better than before. National Supply, powering Jamaica's comeback. The temperature by National Supply is...
24 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 24 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 19 degrees Celsius.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Wednesday, February 4, 2026. Everald Warmington replaces Tavares Finson at ECJ. Fourth supplementary estimates pushes government spending up by close to $14 billion. Staff of Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and Post and the Telecoms Department to be charged for failing to file statutory declarations. And in international news, the UK slams Russian attacks on Ukraine energy sites during harsh winter weather. The details after the break.
News at 7 is brought to you by Hanes Underwear. Cool, comfortable clothing all day long.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
With the details, I'm Tawna Thomas. Nationwide News understands that the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Catherine, Everald Warmington, has been selected as the new JLP representative on the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ. Warmington is expected to attend a meeting of the ECJ later on Wednesday. He replaces Tom Tavares Finson, who elected to retire as a commissioner after a 20-year stint. Warmington is chairman of the JLP's Era Council 2. Today's meeting of the ECJ will also feature another new face. The PNP has selected Maureen Webber to help represent its interests on the body. She replaces Wensworth Skeffrey, who resigned as a commissioner. Skeffrey reportedly quit the ECJ after coming under pressure from senior members of the PNP. Skeffrey has since indicated his intention to also resign as the PNP Deputy General Secretary. A fourth supplementary estimates for the current financial year has been tabled in the House of Representatives, pushing government spending for the period up by an additional sum of close to $14 billion. Addressing the lower house on Tuesday, Finance Minister Favour Williams says the majority of the added spending has been allocated to Hurricane Melissa response.
Madam Speaker, the fourth supplementary that is here today in Parliament is a result of the following adjustments to the 2025-2026 budget. The central government expenditure estimates are being adjusted to incorporate total incremental expenditure of $14.36 billion, of which $13.4 billion relates to Hurricane Melissa expenditure approved by Cabinet subsequent to either the preparation of or the approval of the third supplementary in December 2025.
Another $960 million will support the recently announced subsea fiber capacity venture with Transamerica's Fiber. The minister says the government has now spent approximately $70 billion on Hurricane Melissa relief.
So the additional $13.4 billion being proposed for regularization in the fourth supplementary estimates will bring the total sum allocated by Cabinet for pre- and post-Hurricane Melissa response and relief activities to $66.76 billion, inclusive of the $24.18 billion loan approved by Cabinet to the Jamaica Public Service Company to facilitate the speedy restoration of electricity across the island.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service. The Integrity Commission has recommended that 9 members of staff at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, BGLC, and the Post and Telecommunications Department be charged. This is in relation to their failure to file statutory declarations as required by law. The investigative reports and indicative rulings were tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. They refer to filings due for the December 2023 period. The offending employees at BGLC are 2 investigators, namely Philip Anderson and Nikisha Scott. They are joined by Accounting Officer Daniel Jump. At the Post and Telecommunications Department, the errant employees are Inspectors Marvin McPherson, Balford Bryan, and Hazel McClement Donaldson. 3 branch managers, Victoria Stewart, Valerie Mullings, and Cavell Miller, have also been flagged. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis has found significant weaknesses in the portal used to collect relief funds in the aftermath of the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The portal, supportjamaica.gov.jm, was launched in record time after the Category 5 system battered the western end of the island. But in a report tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, the Auditor General raised several red flags related to information security, governance gaps, and potential breaches of the Data Protection Act. Mahira Stewart has that report.
The National Disaster Management Platform was developed and launched in 29 hours. It's operated by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. The portal serves as the government's primary hub for information on its hurricane relief efforts, including donation collections. Up to December 2025, nearly $800 million had been collected through the portal. But in a 23-page report, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis flagged the portal for serious security concerns. The audit identified significant weaknesses in ODPEM's information security governance framework, which impacted the access controls over the website. The auditors found that in the absence of an established access policy, ODPEM operated without an enforceable standard for the provisioning, modification, and deprovisioning of user accounts. Mrs. Monroe Ellis says the site has been exposed to an elevated risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access, inconsistent security practices, and weakened overall control of its information system. The Auditor General also flagged the website for potential breaches of Jamaica's Critical Data Protection Act, DPA. She says while the website's agreement referenced compliance with the Act and other security standards, there was no evidence that ODPEM verified the private developer's compliance with those requirements. A review of the privacy policy on the Support Jamaica website also revealed that the data processor's access to personal data was not disclosed. The policy also advised users to contact ODPEM's data protection officer, but the entity had not appointed an officer. This was cited as a breach of Section 20 of the Data Protection Act. The Auditor General is recommending that ODPEM's management should approve and implement a formal access control policy that requires documented justification for all user accounts. She's also recommending that ODPEM immediately require the private developer, as the data processor, provide documented and independently verifiable evidence demonstrating compliance with security measures stipulated in the data processing agreement. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Several schools in Western Jamaica are facing challenges with student attendance 3 months after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Gavania James is Vice President of Region 4 of the National Secondary Schools Council, covering St. James, Westmoreland and Hanover.
In the Western region, attendance is very low. Honestly, I can say from experience, as I've been attending school daily, students are not participating, they're not coming to school, and it's not because they don't want to, but it's because many students are still suffering from economic challenges. The fact that some roads are still damaged and the fact that homes are still being repaired. So students are probably at home working, students are at home struggling financially and even psychologically.
According to the Education Ministry, schools across the island have been experiencing lower student attendance levels since the hurricane passed. In the western parishes, data show that only 72% of students have returned to school. James says that the council is playing its role in having this improved.
I know that the regionals, we've been in communication with our local councillors. Even currently, Region 4, we're in collaboration with St. Anne Parish Council, trying to get some resources for our Westmoreland students. I know that our regionals have been trying. They've been in communication with our principals, and I know that our nationals have also been trying. They've been having meetings at the national level. Even recently, our national president, Brian Anderson, they had a meeting with the Minister of Education, with Dr. Dana Morris, and we've been in the schools, and we have been in communication with our local councillors trying to see how best we can assist and even improve the conditions of the school.
Gavania James, the Vice President of Region 4 of the National Secondary Schools Council. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, has seized over $47 million worth of cocaine since the start of the year. The latest incident resulted in the arrest and charge of a St. Elizabeth farmer who allegedly attempted to depart the country with some 120 pounds of the illegal drug through Sangster International Airport on January 26. The drug has an estimated street value of 30 million Jamaican dollars. Director of FNID, Senior Superintendent Patria Rowe, says there's heightened vigilance at the ports to disrupt the narcotics trade.
This latest arrest is further on to FNID effort to interdict drugs and guns. FNID is working with our local and international partners to further strengthen our borders. Since the start of the year, FNID has seized over $47 million worth of drugs. We continue our efforts. The month of January has been unprecedented in terms of our productivity. We are projecting, based on intelligence and our investigations, that we'll be making much more seizures, we'll be making more arrests, and our efforts is resulting in tangible results.
Senior Superintendent Patria Rowe, Director of FNID. The farmer implicated in the latest drug seizure is Ronaldo Brooks. The police previously listed him as a person of interest. Brooks surrendered to the police on Montego Bay, St. James on Monday in the company of his attorney. Following a question and answer interview, he was formally charged with possession of, dealing in, and attempting to export cocaine. He's also charged with conspiracy to export the drug. Police reports are that anomalies were detected during an electronic examination of a suitcase destined for Canada. A physical search of the luggage allegedly revealed several sachets containing the cocaine. Brooks is scheduled to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Friday, February 6, to answer to the charges. Anyone with information on illicit drugs is being asked to contact FNID at 876-923-6184, the police emergency 119 number, or visit the nearest police station. Now, a police constable has been charged in connection with the seizure of several rounds of ammunition. He is identified as a 31-year-old Tarnell Wright, assigned to the Westmoreland Police Division. Wright was formally charged by the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, on Tuesday. It follows an intelligence-driven operation in Area 1 last Friday, which resulted in the seizure of 85 rounds of ammunition. A motor vehicle, mobile phones, and a sum of cash were also seized. Lawmen say Wright and another man were arrested during the operation carried out in Westmoreland and Hanover. Wright has been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, stockpiling, dealing in prohibited weapons, and a conspiracy to traffic prohibited weapons. The other man remains in police custody. 2 men, including a musician, have been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. They are 19-year-old musician O.J. Stahl, otherwise called Zion, and 18-year-old Erwin Tyrell, otherwise called Tavi. Both are from Augusttown in St. Andrew. The men were charged with possession of prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition following a seizure by the police on Maxfield Avenue on Saturday. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that a team of officers were on a mobile patrol when they signaled the driver of a white Toyota Isis to stop. The driver complied, and members of the team observed Stahl throwing a bag to the rear of the vehicle. The bag was retrieved and found to contain a 9mm Taurus pistol with an affixed magazine containing 6 cartridges. Tyrell later gave the police voluntary access to his phone, and both men were seen in several photographs handling the same firearm. Both men were taken into custody, where they were charged after a question and answer session. Their court date is being finalized. The Forestry Department is seeking to gain legal protection for thousands of hectares of mangrove forests across the country. It's also seeking to restore several hectares degraded over time. The project manager of Jamaica Mangroves Plus at the Forestry Department is Denise Henry.
One of the major objectives of the Jamaica Mangroves Plus project is to designate approximately 8,000 hectares of mangroves. So this is now a new initiative of protecting more of our mangroves and adding a layer of designation that allows us better control as to how they are being used. With regards to restoration, we had initially planned to do restoration of about 2,000 hectares of mangroves through the project, and that we're looking at areas that need restoration to their hydrological flow.
The forests suffered additional damage during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The Environment Ministry says nearly 25% of them were impacted by the Category 5 hurricane, particularly in St. Elizabeth. There, the Forestry Department says that the damage was extensive and irrecoverable. The department partnered with several government agencies on Monday to clean up a section of forest in Parity in the parish.
The Nature Conservancy had reported about 1,500 hectares of the Black River area mangroves that had been damaged as a result of the hurricane. We were along the strip at Parity, and you're seeing dead trees, broken trees, trees that have been uprooted. So they will not be able to recover. And so they also need to be removed from that site, as well as the heavy debris of household appliances. Things were being removed like stoves and fridges, lots of zinc. We pulled a barrel of oil out of the mangrove swamp, which was starting to leak into that area.
Denise Henry, project manager of Jamaica Mangroves Plus at the Forestry Department. She was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. In international news, Russia's attacks on Ukraine's energy sector on Monday night as temperatures dropped to below 20 degrees Celsius were barbaric and particularly depraved. This is according to UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. He made the comments after speaking with US President Donald Trump hours after Russia hit power plants and critical infrastructure in the capital, Kyiv, and elsewhere. It comes at the end of a week-long pause that Trump had asked Russia's President Vladimir Putin to observe as a fierce cold swept Ukraine. Trump told reporters that Putin had kept his word and that he would like him to end the war. U.S. envoys are meeting Ukrainian and Russian negotiators in Abu Dhabi to discuss a proposed peace plan. And that's it for the news at 7.
News at 7 was brought to you by Hanes Underwear. Cool, comfortable clothing all day long.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:18.
One good thing about music when it hits you.
Do you have the Reggae Jamaica mobile app on your phone? No? Well, you could be missing out on news, views, interviews, events, and so much more about the impact of reggae music across the globe. Information at your fingertips about Reggae Month and other exciting reggae events. That's the Reggae Jamaica mobile app, now available in the Apple or the Google Play Store. Get it now.
Want to see what happens before we go live? The doors are about to open. Nationwide Family Club coming soon.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey to you, Ludlow.
Hey, Tala, morning time again.
Morning time again.
All right, and to our listeners, motoring public, and all our visitors. Wow, they must have known what's happening in Jamaica. You know, I had a gentleman from Italy, and he was surprised that they were there so cool. I said, well, we're having climate change, so that is it. Anyway, the situation on our road is that those of you coming from behind the sort of radials, there is some traffic coming off the hill. They're coming down. So, Mullines Road there, and there are gaps along Mullines Road, I should say, but it peaks at the intersection of Mullines Boulevard. Then when you go across there, you see gaps again until you get to Mullines Morton Park intersection, heading towards the other intersection, which is Mullines, Cassia Park, Mullines, Walton Park. Really big traffic in that particular area. And then the traffic goes, it's slow moving, going all the way down to the Mullines, Walton Bay Farm, and out of Bay Farm Road, coming onto Walton, there's traffic. And it goes around Newark Avenue, then Kingston Avenue, there's a big traffic pile up there, and then it goes across to, Adley Park Road. There's also traffic along the vicinity of Woodland, get on to Adley Park Road, and Adley Park going up. So all these areas, and I should have mentioned earlier on, there is some traffic along Washington Dunrobin that goes into the vicinity of the overpass, and you also collide with traffic. You meet up on traffic coming from Radius Road. So in that vicinity, the overpass by Dunrobin and Washington Boulevard, and going down to Radius, there's a lot of traffic there. And I don't want to even tell you, Mullines, Dunrobin, and Constance Street, full of traffic. So if you're coming from Constance Street Road, there is traffic. Dunrobin Avenue onto Constance Street Road, traffic. And it goes all the way into the street. So it's quite busy at this particular point. And there are other areas where there is traffic, but just to point out those. So in the meantime, we urge you to lay properly, as usual, at Street Smart. Your safety is our concern. Over to you. Over.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, for that second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, our discussion segment, The Front Page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. Now, parents at a Spanish Town-based primary school are fuming after their children's jackets were confiscated, leaving the youngsters shivering from the impacts of the cold front impacting the island. Jamaica experienced reduced temperatures and gusty winds since last Saturday, when a cold front entered the Western Caribbean. Residents have reported temperature lows ranging from 9 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius, particularly in higher elevations and rural areas. Dana Davey reports.
Nationwide understands that the school sells jackets designed in the institution's colors and bearing its logo. Parents are told this school jacket is the only one allowed on campus, but they argue that the fabric is thin and is not enough to keep children warm amid the reduced temperatures currently being experienced. An upset father spoke with Nationwide News on Tuesday. He says that on Monday, his child wore a thicker jacket to school. However, according to the parent, the garment was confiscated and the child reprimanded for not wearing the school jacket.
And I asked him, what can I do I should have done? He said that under no circumstances the school will give permission to alter school uniforms. I said to him that I'm not asking to alter school uniforms. I'm asking permission to protect my daughter from the cold weather. And funny is, he was at school in a jacket and he's not out. And my daughter in a PE gears out there with no jacket for the entire day.
Another parent expressed her frustration in a 9-minute video on social media. According to the mother, who is also an educator, her children have outgrown their school jackets and she decided to give them others that were much thicker. The mother says she was shocked to learn that her children suffered without their jackets throughout the day.
Now, to my surprise, I went to pick up my children from school, and only to be told by two upset children, cold and upset children, that the principal of the school took away their jackets from them in the course of the day. Now, the day was so cold that I felt like I wanted to wet myself in my classroom because of how cold the day was. And these are children. These are children. When I went to the school was so windy. It was so cold and awful. And only to find out that my children were at school for the entire day without a jacket, without a coat on their backs.
The mother says she was told her children were not properly attired.
I told him that it was brought to my attention that he confiscated their jackets and I would like to know why. So he proceeded to say, if they were properly attired, how come the jacket was confiscated?
The mother of two says she observed a pile of jackets on the floor in an office.
Where I was standing and I looked beside his desk, I noticed there was a pile. Parents, people, there was a pile of jackets on the floor.
According to the parents, the school has refused to immediately return the jackets. The parents want the administration to use discretion and relax the rules in the interest of their children's health and wellness. Dana Davey for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Dana. Well, Nationwide News understands that the students' jackets were returned following a visit from personnel from the Ministry of Education. Well, it took a visit from an education officer for this to be sorted. Well, how should school leadership deal with, extreme conditions or conditions out of the ordinary? We are joined by the principal of the Red Hills Primary School, Mr. Dwayne Dubedat. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, sir, let me be the first, in concert with my co-host, Tana, to tell you thank you for using your discretion. We got reports that you were at your school's gate handing out sweaters to your students.
Yes.
To ensure that they were warm and comfortable for the day ahead. First of all, tell me, why did you need? Is it that a lot of students were coming to your school without sweaters, or is it the case that they had sweaters but wasn't of a particular type?
Well, the thing is, in the Red Hills area, a lot of the children coming from off the hill, the time may not be as cold. It's extremely cold in Red Hills. And so when they might underestimate the temperature in Red Hills, and so they came without sweater in at all. One child said to me that her parents said that she must be militant. And sometimes as adults, we ourselves, we have to understand that the temperatures as we can bear, our children can't really manage that type of temperature. Mm-hmm. And we have been having a lot of our children being sick for the past couple of weeks. And so we really have to take care to ensure that we don't have them being out of school because they are ill.
Mm-hmm. And how did you have so many sweaters sitting around waiting on such a day like this?
Well, our Passenger Association, one member who is located overseas, he sent some sweaters in a barrel last year. I wasn't quite sure how to go about distributing them. And so we had them there. And it so happened that as I saw children coming in, I remember that we had the sweaters there, and I went and I got just a few because I was expecting just a few students to come in without sweaters. But then quite a few children were coming in without sweaters, so we had to distribute all the sweaters on that day.
Mm. And what was the reaction of the children who came in without their sweaters and saw you coming to their rescue?
So we initially, some students went past before I got to the gate, and so we had to go to the classroom. The classrooms were locked, children were shivering. Mm. We had to go to the classroom and ask the teachers to give us a number of students who were in the class without sweaters. We distributed all. After they were finished, we had other children who came in late coming to the class to say, "Sir, you have any sweaters? I mean, no more sweaters. I am cold." We didn't have enough to distribute all of them, and so they were really appreciative of what they got, you know?
Yeah. Hold the line, Mr. Dubida. We're going to take a break here on Nationwide this morning. Talking about this sweater or jacket policy at schools. What should schools do when it comes on to extreme conditions, as we have been experiencing in Jamaica now with a cold front? Take a break here and come back with more.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:31.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media.
So I use this opportunity today, speaking to the private sector of Jamaica and our friends internationally, that the hurricane possibly sending us a message came ashore at New Hope. We must not waste the crisis that the hurricane would have created. It is an opportunity to reconstruct and rebuild all of those parishes who were, before the hurricane, in need of major investment. Now we have the opportunity to actually do the investment with the financing.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The news cycle doesn't end on Friday. It needs perspective. That's why every Sunday at midday, Nationwide 90FM presents The Week That Was. A clear, informed review of the top stories that shaped the past week, what really mattered and what lies ahead. No noise, no theatrics, just analysis, context, and clarity. The Week That Was. Sundays at 12 noon with a repeat at 6:30 p.m. Understand the news before the week begins. Only on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, having a conversation with the principal of Red Hills Primary School, Dwayne Dubidad, who was out at his school gate yesterday handing out sweaters to those children who are coming in without because of the weather conditions. Now a cold front affecting Jamaica, and the Met Service has indicated that another cold front is expected to affect the island on Friday, beginning on Friday. I do see a lot of comments in our YouTube chat area, giving kudos to you, Principal Dubidad. Loxley Thomas saying, Mr. Principal, humanity is in you and your staff, sir. Love it. I see as well Cynthia Matheson saying, Lorna saying, Principal Dubidad for national awards. Carnox saying, kudos, Mr. Principal, in using your initiative. And Popper saying, big up, Mr. Dubidad. That act alone should give you Principal of the Year. Blessings to you, sir. And Andrea Spence saying you are a true father figure. So, welcome back to the program, Mr. Dubidad.
Thank you.
So, in general, though, what is the approach of you as an administrator, your school, in relation to extreme weather conditions like this? If it is that they're coming in without a sweater, or coming in with a sweater that is not one, perhaps, that the school has on its dress code, is it that you relax the rules during those times? What is the approach?
Yes, you have to. All the rules of your school are important, right? But the number one rule is that your school should be safe for the children who attend your school. Mm-hmm. And so if at any time any of those rules conflict with the children being safe, then you definitely have to relax those rules to ensure that the children are safe. That is the number one rule of any school.
Mm-hmm. So
and that was the approach this time? For you?
Yes, because what we have sweater rules now. Because what you find is that on a normal day, children will have used a sweater, they have it tied around themselves, they do all sorts of things. It's a distraction to them in school, and so we have sweater rules as well. But when you see the temperatures like this, my children at home couldn't leave the house without a sweater, and so my 450 children at school cannot be there without a sweater either, because the time calls for a sweater.
And in general, what are the rules of Red Hills Primary in relation to jacket or sweater that is worn?
Once the temperature allows for a sweater, they are allowed to wear a sweater. Once the sweater doesn't have any discrimination or any lewd messages on it, we prefer a plain sweater. But outside of that, they are allowed to wear their sweaters.
Mm-hmm. So, and when you say plain sweater, it can be of any color. It has to be the colors of your school uniform.
No, any color, as long as it's a plain sweater.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in a case where, for example, and I'm posing a hypothetical to you, in a case where a student comes in a sweater that is not befitting of the environment, and in yesterday's weather, but not befitting of the environment, what does a principal do? I mean, yes, you had spare sweaters, but some other principals would say, no, we don't have any spare sweaters. In a case like that, hypothetically speaking, what would be your next point of call?
So again, I go back. At the end of the day, the child's safety comes first. Yes? And so whatever it takes to, if the sweater is so bad, and I can't imagine the being so bad that the child can't keep it on for the day. Mm-hmm. Right? And you can communicate with the parents and say that, don't let the child wear about this sweater. It can't be that bad. But let's say, hypothetically, that it is that terrible sweater with a very bad message on it. Then, yes, we'll try some way to cover the sweater, to cover the message. Something can be done that will allow for the child not to discriminate against anybody, but also for the child to be safe for the day. That is the reality of it.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Principal, based on your academic background, experience, coming up to this point where you're a principal of a primary school, is there anything in the teaching and experience of a principal that would make these things that you're saying very apparent to them?
It goes back to you being a father, you being, somebody caring person, and how you would act towards your own biological children. I don't think it is any training. It is just how you operate. If you care about these children, then you will always find a caring solution to whatever problems they are having. That's the reality. That's why we get the job. Mm-hmm. Teaching is a calling. It's not something that you learn how to do. Yes? Mm-hmm. You have to care about these, especially in the primary school when you are dealing with these little babies. you have to deal with them like the same way you are dealing with your own children at your house. You want what is best for them and you want them to be safe. That is just it.
Here's a message I received not long ago, Principal Duvidad. This one says, "Good morning, parents. While we're currently experiencing extreme weather patterns across the island, and we know that it is going to be a cold day, we also want to encourage your child or ward to be properly attired in the correct sweater. Only plain navy blue or black sweaters are permitted to be worn on the school compound. Hooded sweaters are not allowed to be worn. We seek your support in maintaining the school's dress code." And this was a message sent to parents of students attending Holland High School in Trelawney. What's your message to administrators out there this morning in relation to jackets, sweaters, coats that children are wearing to school in a time like this?
Yeah, so that's fine, Collaboration with parents is always important. And if you can collaborate with parents to say to them that this is what we require as a school, that's fine. But bear in mind that not in my school, I had children who turned up on the day without sweater, not because they chose not to wear one, but they just didn't have one. Yes? And so when you are sending out these messages, and you have to bear in mind that there are some students in your school who just don't have a sweater. And so while you ask them to wear a navy blue and or a black, and you are hoping that they would adhere, bear in mind that some of them is a pink sweater them have, or a green sweater. And so when they come, again, it goes back to the reality that these students are cold and they must be kept warm for the day. So you would have to relax it some way, somehow. Yes? You would have to make an exception for those students in the interest of their safety.
What's your view on schools where the administrators are saying that it's basically mandatory that you wear the school's jacket, meaning the sweater or the jacket that has the school's logo? That's the one that you must wear, and any other jacket is likely to be confiscated.
Well, from my view, as I said to you, schools have rules, and schools have reason for their rules. I can't speak to a rule of any school but my own. Yes? And when students are at school and they are uniform, when you have on sweaters, for my students, we wear a crest and we wear a tie. When these students are on the road and they have on, they are wearing the sweaters, you can't tell, and they wear costumes just like 90% of Jamaican schoolboys. And my school wear navy blue just like 50% of the girls. So when they're on the road and in a sweater, it's hard for you to tell that they belong to a particular school. So if you can get them to wear a sweater with the school's name on it and logo, that would be easier to identify them to this particular school. So that's fine for me. I don't have a problem with that. Yes? If you can get the parents to buy the sweaters, that is fine and okay. But there must be a backup plan to that. It cannot be the school sweater or nothing at all, because the economic reality of my school, I can't say to my parents, listen, you need to get a sweater or they can't come to school, because I am struggling to get my parents to buy the PE gears. They are not buying the PE gears, or am I going to get them to buy a sweater? Yes? So you have to take into mind the economic realities of the people you serve. Some schools can do that, and that's fine. Kudos to them. Radius Primary is not one of those schools, and so I have to care for my students and my parents as well. So that is my reality.
Well, thank you so much this morning, Principal Dwayne Duvidad, for coming on and talking to us about the approach at your school, Red Hills Primary. Kudos to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I see a lot of engagement on the discussion in our YouTube chat. I see Jacqueline Buchanan saying, what if the school sweater is not warm enough? Which was the situation at the Spanish Town-based primary school. The parents saying that the sweater is thin, and because of the conditions, their children needed to wear something thicker, so they sent them in a different sweater. And the conversation we were having yesterday as well, Saeed, I believe what we're hearing from the parents is that the sweater at that primary school cost like $4,500. We saw comments in our comment section to our story on Instagram, parents saying at their school the sweaters cost $6,000. What if you can't afford a sweater that costs $6,000 and $4,500? As Principal Duvidad is pointing out there, the economics of it, you have to keep that into consideration. Parents can't afford it, they just can't afford it. Many parents are getting sweaters as well. As a gift, somebody, a family member has come down from overseas or somewhere else in Jamaica and has bought their child a sweater, and that's the sweater they're going to wear, you know? So that has to be taken into consideration as well. Sharon Bless says, Tana, summon the school, please. We have been reaching out to the school. We have had no success in getting the principal on the line. We will try again today to get that perspective. But we have been trying since yesterday morning to make contact with the principal. Maxine Anderson says, when it's not sweater, it's here. Then when it's not the hair and the sweater, it's uniform, and then it's the shoes, really. And I remember a story that we did, I believe it was last year, Saeed. I think it was Jamaica Day at a particular school in the corporate area. And, you know, children wear their T-shirt with the Jamaican colors, Jamaican flag colors, and jeans. And apparently the school set down this dress code that you must wear black shoes, black sneakers, or any other sort of black shoes. So the parent did not have any black sneakers, didn't want to send the child to school in the black school shoes because, you know, it doesn't match the fit, I guess, and send the child in their white PE sneakers. And the administrators at the school had the child at the gate and was telling the child he has to take off those white PE sneakers. That's not allowed. And they're going to sell him a pair of black sneakers that the school had in storage or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And I'm saying, why are we making such a big deal? It's as if we're measuring in some real minors. Why are we making such a big deal about the color of sneakers? The student has on proper shoes. That's his white PE sneakers. You know, why are we making such a big deal about that? Where many times, some of the things in relation to the dress code at our institutions, minor issues that we shouldn't be making a big deal about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean...
Jacqueline says, but Tana, from I was going to school, Jamaica was like that.
Yeah, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. It's almost as if, you know, so because it was like that back then, no, we can't keep it like that. It's a temporary situation. We're not always cold. So it's temporary, obviously. And then I saw another comment, which I didn't want to give any credence to, but it a lot of people say, well, if it was at the embassy and your child was going to the embassy and they said no sweaters, then you would not have, you'd let them shiver and not wear sweaters.
Wow.
We will find, first of all, that does not exist with the embassy. But what I recognize is we will always find, the rules are rules, people will always find some crazy scenario to say that if it was this, then you would have, you know? And I'll make bold to say that even in those hypotheticals, a lot of people would not have. And again, a lot of these systems are way more flexible than our administrators in our school. Way more flexible. Because again, they understand that circumstances are different.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. But anyways.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
13 minutes to 8 o'clock.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
24 degrees in Kingston, 23 at Westin Montego Bay, and 19 in Mandeville.
We need a bigger office where we can see more clients. Sounds like ambition is calling and Access Financial Services is answering. The funds are waiting.
Boss, I just can't wait for one truck, you know.
I know. We need another truck. Sounds like you have a plan and Access Financial Services can help. Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services designed for women entrepreneurs to unlock the capital you need to grow and take your business beyond limits with quick approval, flexible repayment, and low interest rates. Your success is on the horizon.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Minutes going up to 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're still trying to get the principal of the primary school. It's we believe it's Angels Primary School, based on the material out there on social media. A lot of persons are saying it is in fact Angels Primary School. Parents from that school have also confirmed that their children go to that school. That happened to their children. We've been trying to get in touch. The good thing is we are told that the students got back their sweaters and all of that after intervention from the ministry. But we have been trying to get the
principal,
the administration online. Perhaps for obvious reason, we have been unsuccessful where that is concerned. So, by the way, I saw a comment where someone was asking if it's Lady of the Angels or Angels Primary School. No, it's not Lady of the Angels Prep School. It is Angels Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one out in
Spanish Town.
Yeah?
Right.
Very well.
All right, turning our attention. Yeah.
Yes, turn our attention to Jamaicans for Justice on the review committee. The human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice is renewing its call for the government to establish a sentencing review commission aimed at comprehensively examining the country's sentencing guidelines. Michael Jackson is the executive director of the GFJ, and her comments come after a man, Antoine Badfall Gray, was given a 12-year sentence for setting his ex-girlfriend on fire in 2023. It's understood he doused Alicia King with a flammable liquid before setting her ablaze while she slept. King underwent over 30 surgeries due to the severity of the burns. Gray pleaded guilty to the crime and was sentenced last week. And we are, of course, joined now by the executive director of GFJ, Michael Jackson. Good morning, Ms. Jackson.
Good morning to you both, and good morning to your listeners. And just to say, Saheed, I completely agree with you. What's on your mind this morning? Timely, and it's unfortunate that you had to do it.
Certainly. I would not imagine in 2026 we have to be having this conversation, yeah?
Yeah.
But as it relates to sentencing review commission that you're calling for, tell us about it.
So, if you recall, a few years ago, the Parliament was looking at establishing the mandatory minimum sentences for murder, some of which carried the high rate of 35 years, 50 years, and so on. And at that point, what we recommended to Parliament in our Joint Select Committee submission is that there should be a sentencing review commission similar to what exists in other jurisdictions. For example, several states in the United States, the United Kingdom, for example, has a model that we could look at. What would this sentencing commission or council do? This commission would be tasked with looking at the sentencing guidelines that are in the country. And you know, Said, listeners, Tana, that you have at the parish court and the Supreme Court. And it would tell you what obtains in law, and it would give you, for example, the usual sentencing range for the different offenses. So, for example, a topical matter right now is the sentence for manslaughter. What does that range usually obtain? So though you know that it carries a maximum term of life imprisonment, we know that the usual sentencing range may go up to 20 years. The question is, should we have a commission that looks at these different sentences across the different offences and make a recommendation to Parliament, for example, to say, if it is that you're looking at a law, this is the evidence that you're guided by. These are the proposed sentencing range that I think Parliament should consider based on what obtains in law and based on case law and precedent that have been set. That is the purpose of a sentencing review commission that would have members that cut across civil society, private attorneys, and judges, and would maintain independence of the judiciary, but also independence of the legislator. So they would make these recommendations. So let's take, for example, the Mario Dean case. And you recall that the officers were brought before the courts on a charge of manslaughter. We know that we have manslaughter charges on medical negligence, and you have a lot of case law around that. You don't have as many around matters involving, for example, law enforcement officers or those who are state agents. And if you recall, former DPP said the term that was imposed may have been lenient, but not unduly so. You heard John Clark, for example, saying, should Parliament look at manslaughter specific for state agents and then get with some proposed terms of imprisonment? The Sentencing Review Commission would make such recommendation. And what it also does is uniformity of the sentences, but also the public can look at these guidelines and get a better understanding of how the judges impose sentences.
Mm-hmm. But just to ask you though, you mentioned that the commission would take people from all walks of life, look at cases and the relevant facts and all of those things to come to a view. But what would be your response to the point that the sentencing guidelines, I think it was the Chief Justice Zilla McCalla at the time, who tasked the President of the Court of Appeal, as he then was, Dennis Morrison, who led a group of judges, attorneys at law at the private and public bar, to come together to come up with this guideline. And in the sentencing guideline, you'll also recognize that case law is there, which gives the grounding for how they came up with what they did. So looking at all of those things, what it is with the guideline that you think has not gone far enough that the commission that you're calling for would do separately and further than what we have currently?
I think it's important that we put in perspective that what we're calling for is not a one-off situation. Mm-hmm. It's a body that will be tasked with an iterative process, very similar to those who was engaged in this that resulted in the 2017 document. But what it also does, for example, Parliament was passed on the mandatory minimum. You would have this sentencing commission that Parliament could say, what are your views? Assist me. So it's not in lieu of what happened. It's strengthening it into a body that will be tasked to ensure that there's an iterative process that is done. And certainly you can appreciate, Said and listeners, that though we have those guidelines, there is always room for improvement. So, for example, when you look at the guidelines as they exist, very important, very critical, and it's a welcome document. But if you look at the United Kingdom versus ours, for example, ours give you one paragraph with a few points up top. These are the mitigating factors. Then it tells you what the aggravating factors are. Then you have a few tables now that spells out the different offences, what the law obtains, and the usual sentencing range for each offence. What the UK model does is that it gets very specific. So for rape, you will know what the specific mitigating factors are, what the specific aggravating factors are that you should consider. It also gets very specific for murder, and the list continues. The Eastern Caribbean region also has a sentencing guideline very similar to what obtains in the United Kingdom. So all we're calling for is it's not to negate what we have, because it's a good document that helps the courts as we know it right now. But it's a body that will do an iterative process and importantly be guided by data and would assist our parliament that sometimes they are elected officials and you can appreciate the tension that may often occur where they are making proposals that are to strengthen the criminal justice system, but also those who elect them may be asking for the stronger laws and so on, and you may find that sometimes those stronger laws may very well not serve the intention that we all want.
And if this was supposed to be something that comes about, Mikkel, in its operationalization, would there be submissions to such a commission, or those sitting on that commission are strictly going through paper data, analyzing what they have beforehand, and then making those recommendations to Parliament?
It's from what I glean in the UK and others, it's the commission members that will be guided by the data and they will make the proposals. However, what you may find, for example, we have a Jamaica Bar Association. Those associations may very well be engaged at the appropriate time. But what the commission or the council does is to ensure that it operates in a way where their independence can never be questioned.
Mikkel Jackson, Executive Director of JFJ, thank you so much for coming on this morning and providing us with a further perspective on this call you're making for a review commission, a sentencing review commission. Thank you so much for your time, Mikkel.
Appreciate you both always. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Take a break now for Across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8 o'clock.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, Wednesday, February 4, 2026, Jamaican climate scientist Professor Tanisha Stevenson is among 5 Caribbean leaders to receive the 2026 Anthony N. Sabga Caribbean Excellence Awards. Professor Stevenson is Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at the University of the West Indies, Mona, and co-director of the Climate Studies Group. She is a lead author for the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Her work focuses on regional climate change research and developing tools and digital platforms to support policy decisions across the Caribbean. The SABGA Awards celebrate Caribbean nationals who demonstrate exceptional excellence in science and technology, arts and letters, public and civic contributions, and entrepreneurship. Professor Stevenson was recognized in the science and technology category. The announcement was made from Port of Spain via video stream on Monday. Another Jamaican, Dean Nevers, was recognized in entrepreneurship category. Nevers is telecommunications engineer and founder and CEO of Connex Services Limited. The company provides telecom, renewable energy, and industrial network solutions across 10 Caribbean territories and employs hundreds of people. Nevers has led the company from a net loss in its first year to annual revenues exceeding US $20 million and has received the Order of Distinction from the Government of Jamaica. Each SABGA award carries a local currency equivalent of $500,000 to support ongoing work that benefits the Caribbean region. The awards ceremony will take place later this year. Also in Across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, a 48-hour curfew in sections of the Kingston Eastern Policing Division is set to expire at 6 p.m. today, Wednesday. The curfew commenced at 6 p.m. on Monday, February 2. The boundaries run north along Mountain Ridge from Mountain View Primary to Cane River Falls. It then runs east along Cane River Falls to the bridge at 10 Miles Bull Bay and south along the coastline from the bridge at 10 Miles Bull Bay to Flag Circle. During the hours of the curfew, persons within the boundaries of the curfew are required to remain indoors unless otherwise authorized by the person in charge of enforcing the curfew. Finally, across Jamaica, a police constable has been charged in connection with the seizure of several rounds of ammunition. He's identified as a 31-year-old Tarnell Wright, assigned to the Westmoreland Police Division. Wright was formally charged by the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, on Tuesday. It follows an intelligence-driven operation in Area 1 last Friday, which resulted in the seizure of 85 rounds of ammunition. A motor vehicle, mobile phones, and a sum of cash were also seized. Lawmen say Wright and another man were arrested during the operation carried out in Westmoreland and Hanover. Wright has been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, stockpiling, dealing in prohibited weapons, and conspiracy to traffic prohibited weapons. The other man remains in police custody. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
Supercenter, everything for your home and more.
Bring back the fun of shopping. Discover the best finds in every aisle of amazing items. For your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, or any room, Azan Supercenter has that perfect touch to elevate your space to the next level. Our team is ready to help you find what you are looking for you or someone else. So stop by our Crossroads store today and rediscover the fun of shopping.
Azan Supercenter, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
More parts, more brands, same Berts you trust. From Audi to BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen, we bring premium German service and suspension parts straight from Europe to Yard. No waiting on imports, no delays, just quality parts available when you want them. Visit any of our locations, Camp Road, Malines Road, or Hagley Park today. More parts, more brands, same Berts. It hurts if you don't check Berts.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on February 4 for the official handing over ceremony of the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. It's all going down at the Essex Valley Complex in Lititz, St. Elizabeth. Hear from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM February 4 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's the official handing over ceremony for the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or keep your station locked on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton, weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France? You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Just be the champion. Work it hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the smasher. Here comes the masher. Here comes the big beat. Big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down. You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis. Look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy? Live in a big mansion? Party in France? You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work.
That time of a Wednesday morning, it's time for Fit Nation. In Fit Nation this morning, we're focusing on what are carbs and what do they do to the body. So on your fitness journey, the things we eat and drink on a daily basis can impact our health in big ways. Too many carbohydrates, for instance, can lead to insulin resistance, which is a major contributor to cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. So what are carbs exactly and what do they do to our bodies? In Fit Nation today, TED speaker Richard J. Wood will explain how carbohydrates impact your health.
Which of these has the least carbohydrates? This roll of bread, this bowl of rice, or this can of soda? It's a trick question. Although they may differ in fats, vitamins, and other nutritional content, when it comes to carbs, they're pretty much the same. So what exactly does that mean for your diet? First of all, carbohydrate is the nutritional category for sugars and molecules that your body breaks down to make sugars. Carbohydrates can be simple or complex, depending on their structure. This is a simple sugar, or monosaccharide. Glucose, fructose, and galactose are all simple sugars. Link two of them together, and you've got a disaccharide, lactose, maltose, or sucrose. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, have 3 or more simple sugars strung together. Complex carbohydrates with 3 to 10 linked sugars are oligosaccharides. Those with more than 10 are polysaccharides. During digestion, your body breaks down those complex carbohydrates into their monosaccharide building blocks, which your cells can use for energy. So when you eat any carbohydrate-rich food, the sugar level in your blood, normally about a teaspoon, goes up, but your digestive tract doesn't respond to all carbohydrates the same. Consider starch and fiber, both polysaccharides, both derived from plants, both composed of hundreds to thousands of monosaccharides joined together, but they're joined together differently, and that changes the effect they have on your body. In starches, which plants mostly store for energy in roots and seeds, glucose molecules are joined together by alpha linkages, most of which can be easily cleaved by enzymes in your digestive tract. But in fiber, the bonds between monosaccharide molecules are beta bonds, which your body can't break down. Fiber can also trap some starches, preventing them from being cleaved, resulting in something called resistant starch. So foods high in starch, like crackers and white bread, are digested easily, quickly releasing a whole bunch of glucose into your blood, exactly what would happen if you drank something high in glucose, like soda. These foods have a high glycemic index, the amount that a particular food raises the sugar level in your blood. Soda and white bread have a similar glycemic index because they have a similar effect on your blood sugar. But when you eat foods high in fiber, like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, those indigestible beta bonds slow the release of glucose into the blood. Those foods have a lower glycemic index, and foods like eggs, cheese, and meats have the lowest glycemic index. When sugar moves from the digestive tract to the bloodstream, your body kicks into action to transfer it into your tissues, where it can be processed and used for energy. Insulin, a hormone synthesized in the pancreas, is one of the body's main tools for sugar management. When you eat and your blood sugar rises, insulin is secreted into the blood. It prompts your muscle and fat cells to let glucose in, and jumpstarts the conversion of sugar to energy. The degree to which a unit of insulin lowers the blood sugar helps us understand something called insulin sensitivity. The more a given unit of insulin lowers blood sugar, the more sensitive you are to insulin. If insulin sensitivity goes down, that's known as insulin resistance. The pancreas still sends out insulin, but cells, especially muscle cells, are less and less responsive to it. So blood sugar fails to decrease, and blood insulin continues to rise. Chronically consuming a lot of carbohydrates may lead to insulin resistance, and many scientists believe that insulin resistance leads to a serious condition called metabolic syndrome. That involves a constellation of symptoms, including high blood sugar, increased waist circumference, and high blood pressure. It increases the risk of developing conditions like cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. And its prevalence is rapidly increasing all over the world. As much as 32% of the population in the US has metabolic syndrome. So let's get back to your diet. Whether your food tastes sweet or not, sugar is sugar, and too many carbs can be a problem. So maybe you'll want to take a pass on that pasta, sushi roll, pita burrito, donut burger sandwich.
Thanks so much to TED speaker Richard J. Wood this morning explaining how carbohydrates impact your health. And that's it for Fit Nation today.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:15.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
25 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston. It's 23 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 20 degrees Celsius.
Experience the natural mystic of Bob Marley at the annual Bob Marley Tribute Concert, Emancipation Park, Friday, February 6th, Bob Marley Day, starting 7 p.m. See musical tributes by Stephen Marley, Ed Turner, Bushman, Warrior King, the NAJ Musical Trio, plus two reggae bands from Mexico. That's the Bob Marley Tribute Concert, Friday, February 6th, 7 p.m. at Natural Mystic in Emancipation Park. Admission is free.
Nationwide has always been a family. Now we're making it official. Family Club coming soon.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Bring back the fun of shopping. Discover the best finds in every aisle of amazing items. For your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, or any room, Azan Supercenter has that perfect touch to elevate your space to the next level. Our team is ready to help you find what you are looking for you or someone else. So stop by our Crossroads store today and rediscover the fun of shopping.
Azan Supercenter, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on February 4 for the official handing over ceremony of the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. It's all going down at the Essex Valley Complex in Lititz, St. Elizabeth. Hear from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, February 4 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's the official handing over ceremony for the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or keep your station locked on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, as a responsible public institution, the organization is playing its part in helping to replenish blood stocks, support hospitals and emergency services, ultimately helping to save lives. The blood drive is about community support and responsibility, stepping up as a community member to support those who may need life-saving blood transfusions, especially in the wake of the hurricane. I am joined this morning by Corporate Affairs and Communication Manager at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, the BGLC, Ms. Wendy Robertson, and Blood Donor Organizer at the National Blood Transfusion Service, at the Blood Bank as we call it, Mr. Igor Allen. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much, lady and gentleman, for joining us. Well, let me start with you first, Ms. Robertson. Tell us, you are putting on this event, this blood drive. Tell us about it.
Yes. It's dubbed the BGLC One Love Blood Drive in honor of our national icon, Bob Marley. It's his birthday on February 6th. And it will take place at our head offices, 78 CEF Hagley Park Road, this coming Friday from 9 to 3 a.m. As you mentioned earlier, we are a responsible public institution, and this activity or this initiative forms part of our Hurricane Disaster Recovery Relief Program. Prior to this, last month or in December, we had distributed packages to hurricane victims in Hanover. We will now be implementing a blood drive to help to replenish stocks in the aftermath of the hurricane, and we'll have other activities that we will name very shortly.
Nice. So it is on February 6th, you say, the blood drive?
Yes, February 6th, this coming Friday.
Mm-hmm. And where they can come where? Come to the BGLC's office?
Come to the BGLC's head office.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Hagley Park Road. The entrance is actually on Kissing Avenue, but the actual address is 78 CEF Hagley Park Road. You can't miss us.
Can't miss you. And what times will the blood drive, from what time to what time will the blood drive be in operation?
From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that's Monday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at your head office, yes?
No, Friday.
Friday. Friday, yes.
This coming Friday.
Good.
February 6th.
Good. Let me ask Mr. Allen, if somebody is interested in going to the blood drive, how do they prepare to come and give blood?
Too easy. Good morning, sir. So to prepare for our blood drive, we encourage persons to hydrate properly and also to eat a proper meal. So you hydrate as you're preparing for a 5K, and also eat a proper Jamaican meal within 3 hours of your donation. So a healthy chicken and food breakfast, as they would say, yam dumpling, something heavy. Mm-hmm. Because you want, when the bone marrow kicks in and draws for that nutrient, the body would have been sufficiently fed and hydrated.
Nice. And is there anything else that they need to know before Friday?
Yes, please walk with a government-issued ID, so your driver's license, your national ID, your passport, because we need to identify who you are to be a part of the process.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people
ensure you get your rest.
Ensure you get your rest. Okay. A lot of people might be saying, Mr. Allen, how do I know if I can even give blood?
Come out and we'll determine that.
Oh, so just come and you'll determine that. And how will you determine that?
So we have a robust process that goes from registration, hemoglobin testing, you sit with our doctor, and then, all being well, then you're able to donate. Because we believe in safety first, from arm to arm. Mm-hmm. From the person giving to the person receiving. We ensure that what we do is safe.
Nice. Miss Robertson, tell me, how does this play a part in BGLC's wider efforts to help with the recovery post-Hurricane Melissa?
right. It does play a very important part. We believe in giving back and supporting our communities, whether directly within our environs or further afield, as we have done in Hanover. So we need to step up as a community member to support those who may need life-saving blood transfusions, again, especially in the wake of the hurricane, and also to ensure that we support hospitals and emergency services in this entire effort.
Nice. And Mr. Allen, how crucial it is, what are our blood bank levels, how crucial it is at this point in time for us to get the blood in?
On an average day, we need 50% of the demand. There's a constant need. And the shelf life of blood is 35 days. We need to be constantly replenishing the stock to ensure that those who are in need of transfusions are getting it.
Nice.
So it's an everyday need. We need more Jamaicans to come out to the blood drives or to the blood collection centers right across Jamaica. And we at the transfusion service are actually pushing to have more centers out there so we are more accessible. We are also open on Saturdays, Spanish Town, National Test, and at Cornwall Regional.
Nice.
So we are trying to meet the people in the marketplace so they can help us to save lives, because there are no substitute for blood. We need persons to come out and donate so those in need can have it.
Very well. Thank you so much, Mr. Robertson and Mr. Allen. And before you go, Mr. Robertson, could you just replay the details again for our listeners and viewers so that they can get the information? It is, tell me where, when, and any other information that is necessary.
Okay, certainly. So that's this coming Friday, February 6th. Remember Bob Marley's birthday, February 6th. The BGRC One Love Blood Drive. We're imploring eligible donors to come out and donate blood, help make a difference. And for successful blood donors, there's a chance to win a 32-inch smart TV, and there will be other prizes and surprises. So please come on out and support this very worthy cause and initiative.
Very well. Thank you so much, Mr. Robertson. Ms. Robertson, the Corporate Affairs and Communications Manager at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. And thank you so much, Mr. Allen, the blood donor organizer from the National Blood Transfusion Service, as we know it, the Blood Bank.
Thank you so much for having us.
Good. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good. We go for the break.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media.
Stepping confidently into a new year starts with one simple, powerful word. Yes! Say yes to new beginnings. Say yes to a secure future. Say yes to living the life you love with your family. With health and life insurance from Sagicor Life. We're here to give you the protection and peace of mind you deserve in 2026. All you have to do is say yes to what matters most. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with an advisor today.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on February 4 for the official handing over ceremony of the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. It's all going down at the Essex Valley Complex in Lititz, St. Elizabeth. Hear from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, February 4 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's the official handing over ceremony for the Essex Valley Agro-Processing Facility and Administrative Building. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or keep your station locked on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
It's 8:29, about to strike the clock at 8:30. And we are now in the sector of banking. The JMB Attorney Advantage account is a smart, simple, fully digital solution designed exclusively for attorneys at law. This offers one account, unlimited client folders, and zero reconciliation stress. For more, we are joined by Head of SME Banking. Jeez, I had to type my tongue a while ago. SME Banking for JMB Bank Jamaica, Mr. Kevin Foreman. Good morning, Mr. Foreman.
Morning, Saeed, and morning to your listeners.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us, yes?
Sure.
Good. Well, tell us now, what is the JMB Attorney Advantage account?
Right, so we are excited about our recently launched JMB Attorney Advantage account. Mm-hmm. And this is a financial solution designed exclusively for attorneys. And so the main objective here is to help attorneys manage client funds, improve efficiency in their operations, and really give them back time to focus on what they do best, which is advocacy on behalf of their clients.
You have to carefully know, because next thing you say advocacy, and then the others will say, so those of us, it only mean people who go court? Right. But I get what you mean. I mean, lawyers advocate in all realms, on paper or in court. So tell me, what makes this account? I mean, lawyers have client trust accounts all over and business accounts all over. What makes this Attorney Advantage account different? I'm pretty sure it goes beyond the name.
It is different. So first, let us look at what we're seeking to solve. Mm-hmm. We know that attorneys must separate client funds clearly for compliance, transparency, and professional integrity.
Indeed.
This is extremely important in their profession. Mm-hmm. And traditionally, this means manual reconciliation. They sometimes have to juggle multiple operating accounts or kind of traverse complex spreadsheets. So JMB took the initiative to create Jamaica's first account built specifically to solve this. And our features are based on attorney real-life situations. Mm-hmm. So then what are the features of this?
Yes, that's what I'm excited to hear.
So our attorneys will have one main account, your regular operating account with JMB, but linked to that account are unlimited sub-accounts. And so these sub-accounts represent your client transactions. So, for example, let's say an attorney has 10 clients representing. You can then link, first of all, establish 10 accounts and link them to your main account. And so this allows for easy reconciliation in that you can view account activity online, you can do transactions, transfer deposits directly to your client's account, and importantly, generate statements specific to those accounts.
So the statement to be specific to the sub-account that will be assigned to that particular client.
Exactly.
Nice.
Now, this goes a far way in assisting with the whole reconciliation process. In fact, we can go even more granular. Let's say one of your clients, the attorney's clients, has 3 matters dealing with. Let's say they're selling a property and 2 other matters.
Okay, so let me give you an example then, and you apply it. So like in probate, for example, somebody dies, you're dealing with the estate. So you're dealing with the estate, but they lost that title, so you're dealing with a lost title application as well, and there is some litigation involved. So that's also a different engagement. Same person, but 3 different applications based on what is happening.
Yeah, that is right. Exactly. So we can establish separate accounts for each matter.
Under that person's name.
Under that, right.
So you'd have a sub account for that person, essentially?
Well, right. Let's call it that.
Okay.
So it goes down to the client matter. So what that does, again, it helps with reconciliation and giving that view of each matter that you're dealing with, even for that one client.
Nice. So, I guess that answers the question as to how it helps to attorneys to comply, to be in touch with compliance.
It does, and the fact that you can generate independent statements goes a far way. And what this does, it as I said, it gives the attorney back time to focus on what they do best. And let's think about a small firm, a sole practitioner and so on, who may have to be juggling everything. The solution is geared towards those kind of, attorneys, your small and medium-sized enterprises, or your sole practitioner, who may not have a large finance or admin team, and are required to do the administrative stuff. So this will help in reducing the time spent doing admin work and allow you to focus on making more money, essentially.
Okay, so let me ask this question then. If it is that I'm trying to put it a proper way. Okay, so if it is that you need to make a payment concerning a client's account, can you make the payment directly from that client's account, or do you have to then transfer the money from that client's account back to the general account to then make the payment?
Well, the attorney has the option to do, to do it however they want, and through our online banking or platform, Moneyline, they can do it online from the comfort of their office or home. They don't need to come into the branch to transact any of those transactions.
Okay, nice. So tell me now, what currencies does the account support?
So we support all the major currencies: GMD, USD, pound sterling, Canadian, and Euro. And for the main account, the operating account, we also have the JMB Visa debit card that you could link to that account, which offers additional convenience. You could use it to pay taxes online, to transact business overseas online and locally. And so we're looking at convenience overall.
Okay. And is there a fee to maintain this account? Is it just like all of your other banking accounts at JMB? JMB, they are known for good customer service. They are known for being very light on the fees as it relates to not having to pay a monthly fee. Does this one come with a monthly fee?
Thank you, sir. You're indeed correct. So right now we're running a campaign, and so if clients sign up between now and February 12th, there are no fees for 3 months. So typically, there's a one-hour setup fee of $2,569 and a monthly fee of $4,000. But if you sign up between now and February 12th, then you forego 3 months of fees, the monthly fee of $4,000.
Okay, so a monthly fee of $4,000.
Right.
But once
That's
you
correct.
apply before February 12, then you would get the next 3 months free.
3 months free.
And then you start paying the $4,000. And that is regardless of how much monies you have in the account at that particular
It's
point.
regardless of how much money and how many client accounts you have. It is just one flat fee. So if you have 100 client accounts,
doesn't matter.
One flat fee.
$4,000 no matter what
Per month, yes.
And that is just to maintain the account, given
Just
the
to maintain the
specificity
account.
of it.
Right.
Very well. Are any cards linked to it? Are you able to link a card to it?
Well, as I said, we're able to link a Visa debit card to the operating account, the client account now, the operating account, and that is the attorney's account, to do what they want, we're able to link a Visa debit card to that account.
Very well. Okay, so you're able to link a debit Visa card to that account,
right?
If it is that the attorney so wishes, but you can have the account without linking any card to it.
That's the option that they.
That's all.
Right.
Very well. All right. Well, is there anything else that you think attorneys should know about this account specifically designed for them?
Well, we're encouraging our attorneys to come in and speak with us. They can reach us through our website, jm.jmmb.com. There's a landing page there specifically for the Attorney Advantage solution, and through there they can start the application process. Our resource center officers, SME relationship managers, are ready to serve our clients, and we go to you. You don't have to come to us. So we one of our mandates is to make banking easy in the SME space.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of our key mandates. And again, this product would have been as a result of our looking into the environment and seeing how we can come up with something that gives, some sort of convenience in the space.
So what you're saying, I want to get it properly, what you're saying is if they reach out, you will have one of your agents come to their offices to sign up and set up their account?
Yes.
And is that at an additional cost, or is it
No, it's not. No, that's how we operate.
No additional cost?
No additional
What
cost.
is the catch? No catch?
There's no catch. This is how we operate. There's no catch to it.
Wow.
We come to you and have you signed up. So again, we're focusing on convenience and making banking easier for our clients.
Okay. So how does an attorney get one to come to their office to sign up for this account? Walk me through the steps.
How does an attorney get us to come to the office?
Yes, come to their offices to sign up for the account.
So let's say you visit our landing page, Attorney Advantage account, and you express an interest. And we give you a call to say, thanks for reaching out, and we start to walk you through the process. And you have your documentation ready. We arrange a time that is convenient for you, and we visit you there, fill out the application forms, and get the process up and running.
I'm impressed. I have no further words to say other than Mr. Foreman, I am impressed. Thank you so much. Is there anything else before we wrap up that you'd want to, just say to the attorneys about this account as you run this campaign?
Again, I'm encouraging our attorneys to give us a try. In fact, we've been opening a number of accounts, and the feedback has been great so far.
Nice.
I'm encouraging our attorneys to look into this, have a discussion with us, see the value proposition, and allow JMB to be your financial partner.
Okay. And I might be creating a little trouble here for you, Mr. Foreman, but I saw on the YouTube chat some persons are asking, well, what about the other professions who have reporting conditions?
I got a feeling that was coming. So as I said, as we scan the environment and we try to see what we can do to solve real problems and pain points.
Indeed.
So we continue to do that. So we have this now, but it doesn't mean that we will not be establishing other solutions for other
Continue to look for the problems and create the solutions for it.
Exactly.
Indeed.
We believe in solving problems for our clients.
Indeed. Head of SME Banking for JMMB, Kevin Foreman. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you.
Good. We go for the break.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:42.
Pressure. Let me give you some love and affection. You got my attention. You need no correction. Major poor blessings in your direction. You got my attention. What an impression. So long I've been waiting to be be with you all alone. I've been anticipating. The first time we kissed was breathtaking. And girl, we got a bright future in the making. Oh, when we are together, my heart feels so much better. Oh, girl, I need you and that's no lie. Whenever that we make love, I arrange that you take us. And I'm so glad that I made you mine. Oh, keep that precious smile on your face. God will keep you warm and safe. Make it worthwhile, just you and I with love the most I create. Let's start a family and make things great. Cause when and how we met, girl, it's not a mistake. Let me give you some love and affection. You got my attention. You need no correction. May your pour blessings in your direction. You got my attention. What an impression. There's something about her. Oh, I just can't do without her. Never had a woman of such virtue. Oh, I give you my love, girl. I got no intentions to hurt you. Hurt you. Stay close to me, don't slip away. With the firm sweet pray. Wherever I go, you will follow. I'll keep you warm and safe. Make sure the children have health and faith. Cause when I say I love you, that's what I mean. Let me give you some love and affection. You got my attention. You need no correction. Make your poor blessings in your direction.
Where do you go? Don't you need my love, baby? Why can't you come on and let us play? When are you going to come my way? What sort of things they've been telling you? I got to stop them from compelling you, girl. They just won't stop me from getting you. Give me a try, cause I know that things will be great. Be your mind, don't be mine. True love never dies, only creates. I'm gonna take you right there. Love for a lifetime. I'm gonna make your life so clear. Girl, gonna make you mine. I'm gonna take you right there. Love for a lifetime. I'm gonna make your life so clear.
Absolutely. Just the way she carries herself. That's the beauty.
Woman, I need you like never before. African woman, you're the one I adore. I need you like never before.
Money pull up, money pull up. Wheel. Money pull up, money pull up, keep money pull up, money pull up. Drop it again, drop it again.
Beauty.
Absolutely. Just the way she carries herself. That's the beauty.
Woman, I need you
like never before.
African woman, you're the one I adore. I need you like never before. And when you're with me, I feel so safe and secure. I need you
like never before.
I give you all my God and I'm sure. Woman, I need you like never before. Whoa.
Listen up.
Don't you matter what people might say, black woman, you're my everything. I need you, girl, every night and day to give me my love, that's the very thing. So let us stay together, we can make it better. Look at the joy we bring. And life is what we prefer, goodness is what I refer. To turn on the wings of wings. Friends, come and tell you
King, you have to squeeze out one more to the trigger.
I'm the one that you deserve. So let me take you by your hands, move
both of us will walk the circle.
So she asked me why I need her. So here me tell her now. Here me tell her now.
Like never before. African woman, you're the one. Oh, what a night.
What a night, what a night. Oh gosh, what a night.
Hear me say now. I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good.
I feel good, cause your perfume isn't loud, and only I can talk about. Feel good, feel good. You feel like velvet rubbing over my skin. And when your hair dances under my chin, wish we were alone, baby, just the two of us. Yes, every move you make gives me a rush.
Big tune, give it up.
Wine some more, show me that love unconditionally. Make me leave me here alone, just you and me. Ain't the problems, leave them behind.
So, people, hear me tell her this morning now.
I just knew that's where you were going.
I think I'm gonna have to call it sick.
Still love.
Hey, Mr. Supervisor, think I'm gonna have to call in sick now.
If you don't see me at work today, you know what happened.
There's one thing I can't stand, is leaving you so early in the morning. This 9 to 5 I have is surely getting to me. Na, 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 na. For the third time this week, I think I'm gonna have to call in sick. If I leave you now,
Cliff got in sick, you know.
losing my
On there for this.
I hope we never get tired,
And we never have to go to work.
no one knocking on the door, disrespecting the no disturb sign. No baby crying, and no horn blowing, just the whisper of our voices all day long. A man who don't sweet treat his woman, surely wasting a lot of time.
Pull up.
Money pull up. Tara, drop the wallet now. Drop the wallet now. No, I have to wheel it. You have to wheel it.
If I say pull up, you know it's serious.
She loves me now. That just means I can't complain. She loves me now, and I must admit I feel the same. Listen, early one Sunday morning, as I took up my paper.
It's that time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Happy birthday greetings going out to Annette Ricketts of Maypen in Clarendon, who works at the Exim Bank. Happy birthday to you, Annette. It's coming from Wayne Booth, who is saying thanks for always being a consistent, devoted, loyal friend. So happy birthday to you, Annette Ricketts. This one says, belated happy birthday to my beloved son, Bertland Hope. I wish you perpetual health, unending joy, and unparalleled success in all you do. Thank you for choosing me to be your mom. I remain forever grateful for the gift of your love and your support. Continue to celebrate and thrive. Enough love and endless blessings from your mom, Professor Hope. Good morning to you, Prof, and belated happy birthday greetings to your son, Bertland Hope. Over on Facebook, happy birthday to Mickey Bennett, or is it Mikey Bennett? It's a great producer, Mikey Bennett. So Mikey Bennett, your birthday today, a special, special happy birthday to you. Shireen Smith, happy birthday. Deidrean Butter, Melissa Alex, happy birthday as well to Haley Smith, Addison Zeng, Delilah Lopez, Grace Scott, and Marlene Warren. Happy birthday. Wishing for all of you a lovely one. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Peter McClarty and Delroy McClarty of Cascade District, Green Hill in Portland. Blessings always from Sydney. So happy birthday to Peter and Delroy. This one says happy birthday to Inspector Thaska Stewart. Inspector Stewart of Area 2 Police. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Greetings from your Aunt Juliet, Mother June, brother, sister, and the love of your life, your daughter Daniel. God bless you always. Inspector Thaska Stewart, happy birthday to you. Over in the YouTube chats, I see Angela Jones sending happy birthday greetings to granddaughter Latoya Jones. Latoya, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. And it's coming from your entire family, saying to you, love you, baby girl. And Member is sending happy birthday to little brother Miguel Smith. Miguel Smith, happy birthday to you. Big up yourself, boss one, your brother says. So happy birthday. I see here.
Happy birthday to O'Neill Bennett. Those greetings coming from Gail Porto. And of course, happy belated birthday greetings going out to Reverend Dalvern Williams, pastor of the Papine Wesleyan Holiness Church. Wishing continued blessings, favor, strength from God throughout this year and far beyond. Those greetings coming from Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith. Good morning, Verlene. Hope you have a good one, and happy birthday to you, Rev. Hope you have a good one. Happy birthday greetings going out to everyone from Jacqueline Thomas. And happy birthday to my little brother, Miguel Smith. Big up yourself, boss one. Those greetings coming from Membami. Yeah, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my sister Charmaine in Alberta, Canada. Those greetings coming from your sister, Judith, your mother and nephew. And hope you enjoy your somewhat sunny Jamaica. Happy birthday to you, Charmaine.
And Kingsley Graham sending happy birthday to nephew Teo. Teo, good morning to you. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Teo. Coming from your uncle, Kingsley Graham. Angela Henry sending happy birthday. She says to my precious granddaughter, Maya Richards, 8 years old today, Maya. Happy birthday to you. Coming from Grandma Angela Henry.
I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna leave my lady. No, she's my one and only. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna leave my lady. 'Cause she's truly mine. Most of what she does makes me feel so good inside.
I see an anniversary greeting here. Happy 5th anniversary to me and Annie Walla. Rick Jam. You need to be careful, you know. Because the last time I checked, Annie Smith never married. So you need to be careful. Good morning, Annie Smith.
Good morning,
Hope you're having
Annie.
a wonderful morning. Well, it's not morning where you are, Annie. It's afternoon. Good afternoon, Annie. Hope you're having a good morning. I didn't know that you were so maritally engaged for 5 years with Rick Jam NYC. You need to confirm that before I can read it. But big up yourself, Rick Jam. Yeah. Him says him YouTube wife. And they're here dancing to Jermaine's song selection. Happy birthday to my beautiful granddaughter. Wishing her many more years. Those greetings coming from Sherman White. And Miss Martin Sylvia sends birthday greetings to her brother Rohan, aka Headley, over in Clarendon. She says, happy birthday, bro. Enjoy your special day.
Do you see this one? Sherman White sending happy birthday to her beautiful granddaughter, wishing her many more years to come. So, Sherman White's granddaughter, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you from Grandma.
You never knew the sweetness of your love. Oh yeah. Say what, lady? Oh yeah. Saying to me, did you mean to put you down for another. And what, lady, oh yeah, showing me, did you mean to tell me it threw you out? Another love is another. There are lots of signs in life, some that you may not.
You guys love the foolishness, you know, because why YouTubers know wishing Annie and Rick happy anniversary. But that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks to our technical operator Jermaine King, our super producer Michelle McCrae Smith, and our super editor Kimone Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgate Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
I'm Saeed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And if you ever miss the man with the anger, the one who's got.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
No.